Hello, beautiful souls. Welcome to my channel. My name is Sadhana, and today I'm here to do live readings. I'll be on for about an hour. I'm just holding on to this piece of carnelian. It's one of those rocks that really helps to bring balance. Of course, it's connected to the first and second chakra, but there's something about carnelian that neutralizes energies and pranas. So it just feels like I wanted to roll it around in my hands today before I started shuffling cards. I do want to say hello to everyone and also open with a group reading and just reflect a little bit about where we are in the lunar cycle. We're moving towards the full moon. If you've been out at night lately, you'll see that we're well past the quarter moon. And so this next few days, it's really important that we kind of finish up what we're doing, what those intentions that we made around the new moon, that over these next few days, we really put into action some of those ideas that we had. And if we have just been kind of sitting back and not doing what we intended to do, now is the time to really step forth and to do that. So I am going to... Actually, you know what? I'm going to actually do this later today. I'm going to do another deck pair video today. I'm going to record and include the Shadowland Tarot and a few other of the decks that are on my table. So let's do the group reading with this. I'll pull a couple of cards and then I'm going to actually pull an oracle card from Terry Foss's deck, which is one that I've been playing with, pairing with a few different decks on the table this morning. So I want to say good morning to Gaurav, who posted his question hours ago. Pragya is here. Hello, Pragya, and Joanna's Journey. Nice to have you here. Good morning, Gina and Preeti Raj. And I have to put my glasses on to get all the syllables of Manishka. Hello, Manishka. Alina, good evening, Alina and Adi R. And welcome. So yes, so I will be getting to your questions shortly. And today I'm going to make sure that I start and go through the people who have not asked questions the last few weeks. So there's a few people who have had lots of questions answered. And so if you don't get yours answered today, I want to thank you for your kindness and understanding in that. The card just popped out of here. Four of Wands. This card has been coming up a lot for me in various readings with clients over the last few days. And this, I feel like it's such a powerful card. And one of the things that we all may have forgotten is to go back to our year ahead spreads, to go back to our card of the year and to really reflect, we're well past the halfway point of the year, and to do a reflection on our card of the year and our year ahead spread, because now is it's really a good time to check in with all that. And the reason this came to mind, of course, is we are in a 4-year, and interesting that card came out. So the wands are about action, right? And so right now, today, tomorrow, the next day, put those wands in place. Make that phone call, submit that proposal. All of these things are really, really important to feeling. Yeah, and I've got the Chariot card here as well too, which makes perfect sense for where we are and what I was just talking about with the lunar cycle. Then I just turned over the card with the moon, so we'll just put her there as well too, and then I'll pull the card from Terry Ann's deck. The other thing is that we are in the heat of the summer in the Northern Hemisphere, and so for those of you that are in the Southern Hemisphere, this doesn't really apply. But in the Northern Hemisphere, when we are starting to really move into the heat of summer, it's important that we find balance. And there's a lot of potential, the passion, sexual energy, potential creativity, A lot can happen. A lot of growth can happen in the heat of the summer. But the balance is really important. And where and how you find your coolness and where you find your time to integrate, to step back, to breathe, is really, really important. And so if you are in a hot place, to watch the overheating foods, to make sure you've got cooling foods on your plate and you have cooling things that you do throughout the day so that you invite that balance in. Because if the wands are overcharged, it's not a good thing, right? We need to really kind of to bring in that balance. And don't forget about the other two elements as well too. Prosperity. Wow, that's beautiful. Okay. So this, if your intention was a financial intention in a week ago, this looks like the energy building towards this we're in a very also a dynamic, fiery sign of Leo too. And so anything can really happen. And so what I would encourage you to do is to go back to that intention. And if you didn't write one down, to really write one down. What is the one thing or two things you could do over the next 4 or 5 days that perhaps you've never done before, but it's really, really time. I encourage you to step forward, to plant that seed, to make the phone call, to submit the proposal, it's time. It's time for you to really, really get going so that this foundation so you can feel the foundation, because obviously, if you've got the Four of Wands here, you've already started something. And the Chariot card, right, is an important card. It's about, get up, get off your seat and do something about this, whatever your particular area of focus is. And prosperity is not always financial, right? There's this sense of abundance. Abundance can be with the comfort of your home. It can be with the abundance of peace and compassion in your household, in your neighborhood, in your community. Abundance and prosperity can speak to many other things. And so when we're looking to the Hindu pantheon of goddesses, we're looking to the energy of Lakshmi. And if we can get away from the money, money, money thing and to really look at what the energy of abundance actually means and how you feel fulfilled in prosperity in other ways, right? That feels like an important message today as well, too. So perhaps that will resonate with some of you. So thanks for indulging me there, and we'll get to your questions. All right. So today, for the first time, I'm on Facebook as well, too. So we'll see if anybody chimes in from my Facebook page. Okay. So I'm going to start with Joanna's journey today. Joanna says, could use help figure out why I'm blocking making art again. I can't seem to get past the fear of being creative. Whew. Okay, so I'm going to go back to my carnelian for you, Joanna. Second chakra stuff. Okay, so it might be related to something to do with balancing in the second chakra. And so this is such a huge chakra full of many, many karmic patterns. Creativity is a huge word. So if you are focused on one aspect of creativity, you might want to shift and do a little bit of, what do you call it? Like you write the word creativity in the center and you have like a wheel, a diagram, a Venn, is that a Venn diagram? I can't remember. Think about creativity in a big capital C picture. You might also want to get yourself a rock that feels connected to creativity. So just close your eyes, take a breath in and out, and we'll see if we can figure out what's blocking this energy. And this might be a perfect deck for this as well, too. I'm feeling heart. So heart. Grief. Is grief blocking your creativity? There's something connected with your heart space. So on an energetic level, to move that block, we want to really like feel open in the heart, open in the chest, right? We don't want to stand in the grocery lineup like this or anything, but like be conscious of that. Be conscious of your shoulders, the way you're sitting, the way you're standing, because sometimes we can tap into this through the physical body, right? And if you start to move your physical body in a way that feels more open and receptive, and then you can also reflect on the connection between the creativity and the heart space. Not usually two chakras that are connected in a way that High Priestess. So High Priestess is definitely going to second chakra. A Cups card, so more water energy. Okay. So 4 of Cups and 7 of Pentacles following the High Priestess. So let me just look at this. Yeah, so High Priestess and 4 of Cups, it really is a call to go inward. A call to go inward, which feels everything I was saying before, like this is, over this next few days, is a time to be outward. It's an outward facing time. And then after the new moon is when we, ideally, if we're in sync with the universal energy, that we're turning inward after the full moon. And this is the time where we are, kind of deep in our inner work. So I would encourage you to wait and to the inner, deep inner work. If you're going to do some journaling, or maybe start a new breath practice or a new reflection practice after the full moon. The High Priestess. So how can we bring in the High Priestess energy right now to help you reflect on your creativity? The High Priestess, and I want to specifically look at this High Priestess, is fully I feel like this High Priestess is fun, and she likes to be playful, which is fiery energy, with her magic. And she likes to be, so I'm getting something to you, like I'm getting like finger painting. I'm getting like some really funky craft projects that you wouldn't normally indulge in, because that feels a little bit away from your art. So she is calling you to do something like that, right? To play in a more childlike, arty way than you normally would. So perhaps get out some supplies that you haven't had out for a long time, and to work with that. And in the creation of your artwork, the 4 of Cups, there's something really, and I want to speak to this deck, not to a general 4 of Cups. There's something connected to the dream world. There's something connected to what has been coming up for you repetitively, perhaps in your dreams. And there's also in this 7 of Pentacles in this one, and of course being a go to patience, and that has to do with what I was saying about waiting until after the full moon. But it's important that you it feels like a lot of, those, they're like snapdragons, and they're all around the head, chatter, 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 chatter. And so dial that in to the playfulness and the fieriness of the artwork. That's what I want to say. Okay. I hope that helps in some kind of roundabout way. Thanks, Joanna. Alrighty. So I'm going to go to Manishka, because I have never seen Manishka. So welcome to my chat, Manishka. Welcome to live readings, usually on Tuesdays, but today is Wednesday for me. Some guidance on your love life. If I'm on the right path, everything is so messed up. Well, I'm sorry to hear that. That is always challenging. Okay. So Manishka, isn't this interesting? So this carnelian is going to help with that as well for you too. So my love life is messed up is also connected to second chakra stuff. And for you right now, I'm feeling hands on the lower abdomen, hands on the pelvis, and just really feeling like you're taking care of yourself. Even if this is not a practice that you have where you actually kind of, use your hands to help with your own self-healing and calming and moving stuff through your body, don't discount the power and the potential of hands-on healing for moving energy and for feeling so much better. And so with your hands down around the sacral chakra area, you want to take really deep, full breaths and to feel the breath in your pelvis and to start to move the energy there. We also have this whole issue of guilt that is connected to this chakra. And this may be a time for you to reflect on guilt. Because if your love life is all messed up, sometimes we have to deal with our own stuff first. And so just kind of, we want the love life to be happy and healthy and to feel really sweet in it. But if our own stuff is messed up, the love life, of course, it's going to be messed up. So I'm going to draw a few cards for you as well too, but I hope you can kind of understand what I was saying about that. Okay. Guilt. So you want to also go to the throat, Manishka. And I'm sorry if I'm saying your name wrong. I just want to double check your name. Manishka. That should be right. Manishka Gautam. Okay. So moving energy, the blocks of love life. Did you have information for Manishka? Yeah. Okay, so definitely the cards reflect the conflict, very much so. And I feel the tension in my physical body. It feels quite charged, and these are not easy cards at all. So my advice to you at this time is to, it is time for a time out for you. It's time for you to create some space to go to some of these things I was talking about before. Your voice, your strength, your communication skills might be what's causing this conflict. And if you read the tarot, the reason I'm going here is because the Knight of Swords is with the 5 of Wands and the 4 of Swords as well too is here. So what I'm seeing for you is, I don't know, this could even be a time for you to go into personal counseling or to take a course in communication or to do something about working with your own language and the way that you share your feelings, the way that you talk with others. There's something about that that's really important for you at this time. And it might make you feel a whole lot better if you could also, talk to your friends about this, your friends who are not involved in the love life, and ask them about how they perceive you, how you communicate. Is there any advice or things they would have for you? But it looks to me like the discord, the mess, I believe your word was, messed up. The discord is a result of communication. And so take that skill really seriously. It also makes a lot of sense because often the voice is not in harmony if the second chakra is not in harmony. And I do encourage you to go back to any issues related to that. And then for me, guilt was one of the things that came up. So so let's step away from the mess of the love life and focus on your own inner kind of process at this time. There are no major cards here, so it doesn't look like a long-term thing, but something you would really benefit from working on right now. Okay, thank you, Manishka. All righty. Addie R, I think I said hi to you. Elena, good evening. All right, I want to try not to, the chat's going to skip around and mess me all up, but that's okay. I see Audrey here as well too. That's great, Audrey. I appreciate any help. Okay. Apurva's here. Welcome and hello. All right. Let's see if I can go down. Okay. Forgive me. Positive for Life is here. It looks like I'm going to go to Positive for Life. So you have a job opportunity. That's wonderful. I like this job opportunity with crystals as well prove in finances, medical field. Okay. So job opportunity with crystals, finances, medical field. Okay. Crystals. I just want to see if I have a deck that really talks to the crystals. I'm going to stay with the lily white for you. So can I get you just to kind of focus on your question? Take your internal gaze to your eyebrow center and see if you can just bring some it feels like a really, for a short answer, it feels like quite a complex question. It's one of those questions where we should probably do a private reading. Interesting. Got some kind of energy in the jaw going on for you. More Four of Wands. Okay. I'm not sure how this job is, how this all comes together. And prove, as well as prove in finances, medical field. So I've got a lot of leadership energy. And I'm not really clear on your question, but the strength right now for you is around leadership energy. And at the same time, this may feel intensely vulnerable for you to step into a leadership role. Whether you are in the crystal business and something happens and you have an opportunity to actually take over for one of the major partners, or if you're talking about, if you have another job in the medical field, it's important that you step up into, you're not in a subordinate position. That's what this feels like to me. But the challenge for you will be that feeling of vulnerability and exposure, and perhaps not feeling entirely experienced in that role. But the cards are about that. They're all about leadership. So I'm just going to do a quick scan and see if you have any other information for me, Positive for Life. Just going to scroll right down. Gypsy Jade is here too. Hello. You're welcome, Manishka. So, Positive for Life, you're getting yours anyway. So, and Audrey, I'm going to come back and I'll look at your list. I see you've started that, so thank you. So let me just finish with Positive for Life. So Positive for Life, it's about that. It's about choosing the leadership aspect, the leadership quality, and moving in that direction. So the reason I'm talking about the vulnerability and feeling exposed is the Tower card is also here. So if you are feeling shaken up right now in some way, and you're feeling like you're not quite ready for a job and all that responsibility, the universe is putting you there for a reason. And so it's like to really dig deep and to feel that inner strength so that you can so that you can do this, because you can do this. On either side of this vulnerability of the Tower card, I have the Four of Wands and the Emperor. So I hope that supports you in some way in doing that. Oh, and your name is Crystal. Okay. So I hope that makes sense for you. Okay, Crystal? So thank you. All right. So now I'm going to go and look at Audrey's comment. And Audrey has a list. And if on Audrey's list, there's people that have had several readings over the past month, then I probably will skip to the next one. So please know that this is all a complimentary service, and I try to share my gifts around. So thank you for your understanding. Okay, so hello, Serbi. Serbi's new here, and Praveen. All right, so I'm going to go up to Audrey because I saw that she started a list. So Giggle Glimmer is number 7. Positive for Life is 5. Okay. Addie R. So Preeti Raj has had lots and lots of readings. Manishka is 2. So now we're going to go to number 3. Okay, so number 3 is Addie R. Addie R wants a reading about where me and my Yogesh's relationship is going. Do you see a possibility of marriage? And okay, so this is Addie R. And then Audrey, it's your own question. All right. Is there a possibility for marriage for Addie? Okay. Wow. There's a reason I picked up this carnelian today, you know? So let's look at the union, the yoga of marriage, the coming together of relationship, a right relationship. I swear it's so interesting, right? I could have picked up any number of crystals on my altar that's right there. And this was just like, I had to have this. So let's go to if marriage is in the picture for these two. Wow. Okay, so big question. The first part of that question is, where is it going? We've had lots of Four of Wands cards today, which is about celebration. Interesting. Okay. Big breath, Addie. And lots of heart space stuff for people today as well, too. Okay. So a lot of people aren't aware of the connection between the heart space and the second chakra. Really interesting cards. I'm sorry, I need to pull some kind of a clarifier of some sort here because I'm quite confused. My question is for you, Addie R. It feels like things are quite challenging right now, and the strength may be coming from you. It might be coming from your voice. I do, underneath all of this reading, have the Magician. And so the Magician would be asking you to be really creative in big picture kind of stuff. Like, where do you need to apply the magic? Where do you need to... I also have the 10 of Wands here too. So I'm wondering what there's this, so I'm going to just answer your question. Your question is, where is it going? Right now, it looks like this is a period of struggle, and you also have the potential to navigate through this yourself. It doesn't look like an ending. It just looks like a really difficult period presently. So two things. One is to pay attention to gifts, to pay attention to things that people are offering you to help you through this time. And to maybe let go of, I mean, it's kind of cliche, but in the tarot, there's so many cards that advise us to let go of some of our responsibilities, some of our burdens. We don't always have to be in charge and be in control. Sometimes we can let the magic flow and be more in a place of trust than in the ego space. And it's feeling like that's exactly where you need to be going right now, and listening to that intuitive side of yourself. The Queen of Swords, generally speaking, is very intellectual and not comfortable doing that. So this might be really challenging for you. What happens when the Queen of Swords meets the Magician? You know, she's going to be very, she's going to have some doubt around his ability, his skill. And the Magician card, where I placed it on the table, is at the foundation of this. So my best advice to you is to look at all of your resources, including your friends, your family, your personal skills, and to not feel alone in what you are moving through at this time. Marriage is not right there. There's work to be done into building and to growing the relationship. I have another card with hands. And so I want you to reflect on what that might mean for you personally. Okay, so you have an oracle card as well as a major arcana card that shows what this is. And this is also healing hands, healing energy. And so can you take that message and see how that you might apply that to the relationship? All right, so it feels like this is the priority, not focusing on the marriage or exactly where the relationship goes. So just kind of reflect on this image, because sometimes the image means something completely different to you than it does to me, and it might make total sense in a different way. So just allow that to move through you over the next couple of days, and see if you can spend some quiet time on that thought, those words. Go for a walk. Look at your hands, feel your hands, massage your hands, do some self-Reiki, something like that, okay? Thank you. Alrighty, so Audrey is next. And what is the nature of your current relationship, Audrey? Alrighty, so let me put these cards away. And I'm just going to scroll down here. And Giggle Glimmer. Looks like Giggle Glimmer is next. Oh, hello, Sadie and Serbi Parikh. Nice to see new faces here. The nature of your relationship. Okay. Okay. Audrey, oh my goodness. Adrenals, low back. Adrenals, low back. This, I feel like I'm repeating myself over and over today. Like this is, again, carnelian. It has to do with the heat of the summer. It has to do with being hydrated. It has to do with being really mindful of your health and your wellness. Adrenal fatigue manifests when we are in fight or flight. It manifests when we are out of balance. So I'm not sure why my low back is lighting up for you, Audrey. Well, it's lighting up because you need to move some energy there, but last week I put an invitation out there and nobody took the invitation, and that was, would anybody like to be on the screen and to show their face and do their reading face-to-face live on the screen? And so please let me know if that is of interest to you, and then next week I can send you an invitation and you can be on and we can actually talk and you can ask your question out loud, and then you can have an opportunity for feedback. And what I would like to do is to give this opportunity to 1 or 2 people each week, and then the rest of the questions will be through the chat. This is for Audrey, nature of her relationship. Okay, the theme is really strong. 10 of Wands, Audrey. 10 of Wands. Why is the 10 of Wands there? The burden, I do like this deck in that the fox is sitting on top of all of the wands, and it's like the fox is so ready to almost to start a bonfire. I want you to know that the Lovers card is over on the right, but there's a little bit of stuff in the way of the Lovers card. So to me, it feels like the best course of action is to ignite those sticks and to release some of that pent-up energy. What does that mean for you? I don't know. Also, I have the 7 of Swords here. And so there is, it's a 7 of Swords is always a time for deep reflection. Sometimes we need to take what is ours and walk away. Sometimes it's a message loud and clear that something is not right. Something is not right in the camp. And I just want you to, perhaps that is a warning for you, that perhaps that is giving you permission to pack up and go. So why would the Lovers card be after these 2 challenging cards? Right? So 10 of Wands, 7 of Swords, and the Lovers card. And the Lovers card is not always about relationship. It could very well be that if you can work through this stuff, then your relationship will come into balance. In this particular deck, we have the Ouroboros, we have the 2 animals moving around, the beautiful sacred geometry in the center. But this feels like it's a ways off. It feels like there's a bit of, and the same breath I say that, I'm reminded, if you light that bonfire now, you burn those sticks, you get that stuff out of there, then it's all just going to feel a whole much lighter, lighter and brighter and easier. And you're going to create that freedom. So maybe you have to light that fire underneath that 7 of Swords, which is that conversation that you have been avoiding. And if you are brave enough to ignite that fire, to burn those sticks, then you'll have this potential to move into right relationship with your partner. I hope that makes some kind of sense to you. Thank you, Audrey. And thanks for helping with the questions today. Alrighty. Sadie would like a general reading. I believe Giggle Glimmer is next. What do we have here? We have Alina, who I haven't answered. And okay. So I just want to make sure Giggle Glimmer, I will do your question for sure. I want to make sure that you are in there. But let's go to Alina Butorova. What advice can the universe give me regarding my love life? Okay. All right. So we have, well, it's often the theme, isn't it? Love life. So Alina, welcome. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to live readings. Actually, I'm going to keep this deck. Time for a sip of water. I also want to let you know that for those of you that are contemplating booking personal readings, private readings, I'm really busy these days, and that's why I couldn't come on yesterday. So it's important that there was, like, until quite recently, I was able to accommodate within a week, within a few days. But I'm getting really busy. So if you're thinking about booking a reading, you might want to contact me sooner than later. It's a really, really busy summer. And interestingly, I've done, over the last few days, I've done family readings. So I've done groups, several groups of 5 people, not all at the same time, but one after the other, and like the dealing with family karma. So that's been really, really interesting. So I want to focus on this one. This is Elena. Elena. Advice for your love life. Advice for your love life. Make a baby. Well, are you intensely self-critical? Or do you tend to not let go of past stories? So either one of those two things is really important in building the relationship. So both of those things I just said are going to sabotage the relationship. And if you are able to work on those two things, one is to see the cup half full, to let go of the past stories and to stop repeating them over and over and over. That could be one side of it, but also there may be an element of self-sabotage here, that, or, self-deprecation, not speaking kindly to yourself, not saying kind things to yourself. On one hand, it looks like the relationship is building beautifully, but because of these two things that are coming up, and it almost feels like these are patterns from deep, deep in your past. It might be, loved ones when you were little said things to you that not restricted. I feel restriction in my heart, my body. I feel restriction in my heart. So letting go of these past stories is really important, and seeing yourself for who you are right now. There is a potential for tremendous transformation in your relationship, to take your relationship to a whole new level. But this block is here. This block is here from past stuff. And so finding a way to let it go. When I was talking to Audrey in that last reading, I said about the bonfire. Bonfires are amazing ways to let go of stuff. You can actually, like if you have a stick, you can write something on the stick and then burn it in the fire. There's something about that you need to bust through to let go of the past so that you can be fully present in this relationship. Okay? The potential for huge transformation is right there. It's just up to you to take that next step in knowing that it's okay to let go of these past patterns. Okay, giggle, glimmer, and Sadie J. Okay, awesome. I'm just going to check the time. We're good for time. Giggle Glimmer. So welcome. I'm not sure if you've been here before. And please know too that if you've said things, or if you've said thank you, or if you ask more questions down below in the chat, I do my best to stay focused on one reading at a time, and I always read the chat back afterwards. So if you have questions, I can respond to them in the comments below if I miss something. Or please feel free to send me a personal message, okay? All right, Giggle Glimmer. What's coming in love? What's coming in love? Wow, lots of very, very powerful energy here today, guys. Just gonna see if I can clear some of that from the room. All right, Giggle Glimmer. This one's for you. What do we got coming for love for Giggle Glimmer? So, I have Queen of Wands, Maiden of Cups, and Nine of Wands. So it feels like that. So Queen of Wands loves the summer, loves the, if you are in the Northern Hemisphere, the Queen of Wands loves to embrace the heat and the passion. And the Maiden of Cups, sometimes the Maiden of Cups in relationship has a tendency to, that naivety in relationship. So that kind of puppy love, first crush kind of energy. And then we have Nine of Wands, which is really, really intense. Really, really intense. So it feels like perhaps a summer of love, a summer of passionate love. It feels like a summer of like not serious relationship, but intensely passionate relationship, perhaps intensely romantic as well too. The Oracle card is communication. So perhaps this relationship or these relationships will be initiated through the ether, through online dating, through live chat. Interesting Oracle card to go along with that. I'm just going to show you this card. This is the Oracle card I pulled, communication. So I guess the other side of that is to let people know that you're open to relationship. If you tend to not embrace that Queen of Wands energy, Queen of Wands is, right, she wears her sexuality on her sleeve. And so that kind of energy is what is coming around you and what is around you. And so to embrace that and to be with the beauty of all of that, okay? It feels a little like it's going to, by the end of the summer, burn you out. So just be cautious of that and pace yourself and have fun. Sadie J. Sadie J. General reading. What is the universe telling me? You don't know? This is an important question for a lot of people. What is the universe telling me? And learning to read signs, learning to be open to signs and to be more receptive is a practice. And so I just want to talk to this for a moment. One of the ways is to slow down and be in your environment. And that does not mean you have to be in the forest. You don't have to be at the beach. You can be wherever you are. But it's about tuning in. I mean, there's different ways to look at this. Eckhart Tolle speaks to this. It's a basic yogic teaching. It's a pratyahara practice where you become aware of your senses. You become so intimately aware of your senses that you lose sight of them and just kind of move into this meditative mode. So what that means is you notice what you smell, and you allow the sensation of smell to be fully present, and you heighten that awareness of smell. Hearing, you really focus on the details of what is around you and what you hear, and you pay more attention to it. And your sight, you start to look at little things and notice little things, and you really focus on that, as well as your feelings, of course. But if you focus on the smell and the sound and the sight, and start to really look and to stop and to be with those sensations, then it becomes a lot easier to pick up on those signs from universe. And if you want to sit and do that, very kind of buzzy, and you can move very easily into meditation with that kind of energy, right? So intensely focus on them and then turn inward. So for Sadie, what is the universe telling her? What is the universe telling her? Okay, Sadie. Sadie. What is the universe telling Sadie? I'm getting more jaw stuff for you. I'm going to speak to that jaw tension. Jaw is also connected to the hips. You know, we've got this general theme going on today. I've got Mother of Swords, so that would make sense. I've also got the Justice card here, another sword. So the universe is telling you to have the courage to speak your truth, to perhaps step up and take charge in a way that you are the one that is going to lead the conversation. If you have the courage to speak your truth, you might help to resolve karmic patterns for yourself, for other people. The heck? I've got, this is all, so Sadie, this is loud and clear. I've got Mother of Swords, Justice, and Son of Swords. So this is what this is about. This is about cutting to the chase. This is about really telling your story, or speaking your truth, or sharing how you're. So swords is not necessarily attached to communication, attached to feelings, but swords is about that skillful communication. And it's also about the articulation. The Queen of Swords, the Mother of Swords, has no problem sharing her thoughts. And so there's this, I want you to be really mindful of the language around at how it is delivered, because the swords, of course, can hurt and they can cut. And so to take a little bit of time to reflect on the potency and the power of what this is that you actually need to share and have the courage to share at this time, because it feels like it can have potential. So I see the Justice card as a card of major karma. So it is going to shift something for you or your family or those that are close around you. Okay, so it's about you, and it's about you speaking up. Okay, and it takes a great deal of courage to wield those swords. So take your time, find your words, and then go for it. Thank you. Alrighty. My goodness. My goodness. Alrighty. All right. And I'm just going to scroll down here. Oh, and hello to all the new people that have come in. Oh, that's good. That resonated. Sadie. Oh, and Nikki's here. And Marilee. Hello, Marilee. Rupali. Welcome to all of you. Okay, so I'm going to scroll back up to Audrey. Serbi Parikh is here. Ross is here. Hello, Ross. Okay, Madame Malay is here. All right. Oh, I'm definitely going to have to read back this chat and see, because I'm looking at it kind of all over the place. Andre Santos from Portugal. Welcome. Welcome, welcome. All right. Oh, that's funny. Sorry, I'm reading some of the comments. All right. So I am going to just randomly choose a couple more. The time is 12:57, and so I will, I'll do that. Oh, that's great, Elena. I'm glad you're learning from watching me. That's nice. It's always good to have support, you know, and encouragement and things like that. Okay. All right. Tihi O Sadhana. All right. So I feel like I'm just like, okay, just pick one, just pick one, just pick one. I'm going to go to Ross. Randomly. Ross. Is it more favorable for me to move my country, or to move to my country, or to move to another country? Ooh, my country or another country. So Ross, when I do readings where it's A or B, what I'm going to do is choose a couple of cards. I'm going to tell you the energy around A and the energy around B. And then we'll see what happens there. Okay. So for Ross, my country is A and another country is B. And that's what we're going to do. And so it's a really nice way when you have, you absolutely have to ask that kind of a question, right? Is it this or is it this? And so what you do is you just put one card down for A, one card down for B. This is what I do anyway. And then I put a couple more for A and a couple more for B. And then I read it. Okay, Ross, my country or another country? And I didn't unplug my landline phone today. Okay. Okay, my country, another country. Okay, so my country, the energy is the High Priestess. So that is one of deep connection, deep inward connection. It's one of, like the High Priestess knows all the secrets. She knows everybody's magic, everybody's stories, right? The High Priestess is this very, very strong card. Another country is the Five of Pentacles. The Five of Pentacles is not one of abundance. It's one of going through challenging times. And so let's look at the supporting cards for each of the countries. Wow. Okay. So in both, those were the first cards. The supporting cards I will speak to really quickly. So in my country, we have also the Magician card. So it feels like you have the potential, immense potential for growth and creativity and for doing things there. The Seven of Swords is also there. So there's maybe a sense of, I don't know, like maybe there was a broken trust. Maybe there was something taken away from you. Maybe there was an inheritance or some issue over an inheritance or something like that. But I don't feel like that is a reason not to be in my country. It feels like you're going to have a lot of strength and potential energy in my country. In another country, there's either a lot to learn or you could be a teacher. I feel like you could be a teacher. But it won't be an easy go of it. So we need to kind of stick with the first card. The first card is the Five of Pentacles. So as you arrive in the new country, it might take a significant amount of time to find your feet, to find your comfort, and to find your ground. But there is definitely potential there. I've got a major card there, which is the Hierophant and the Son of Swords. And so that's why I'm thinking, oh, maybe you'll go and do it like a teaching job or something like that. So that's the energy there. Right? So not initially feeling really safe and strong, but over time could definitely work into something like that, something like a teacher. Okay, so thank you, Ross. Alrighty, so I'm going to scroll around and pick one last reading for today. And thank you so much for being here. Thank you very much. And for those of you that have had readings today, you can make a donation if you like for your reading through one of the links that are below in the description box, or you can pay it forward to somebody else and do a reading or do an act of kindness for somebody else. Okay. Alrighty, Surbi Parikh. Career. Ooh. Okay, Surbi, this is, I don't know where your slip disc is, but this is kind of the talk of today. And if your slip disc is in the low back, for sure, this is a physical issue that needs healing and nurturing, and to not discount the medical care that you need for the slip disc. Often with a slip disc, this is about building strength. And I don't know why I'm saying this, but sometimes these messages are just like, they just flow through me. I'm actually kind of seeing, sometimes, I don't know if you've ever make a sandwich. Anyway, I'm just thinking of the sandwich. And sometimes we build a sandwich too full, and we have the bread on either side, and then the contents are in between. It might not necessarily be a sandwich. And then we put so much in, we pick up the food to eat it, and the contents fall out. Why am I seeing this? It's like maybe the slip disc is part of putting too much pressure on yourself, putting too much, like doing too much. And that sounds like kind of basic knowledge. But we need to, number one, let go of some of the stuff that we've been carrying, but also to build the strength so that we can support everything. And I don't know, like sometimes when there's serious medical issues, we really need to reflect on the metaphor around it, right? Because life is a metaphor. Life is a mirror. Life is full of lessons and challenges. And if we can look at them creatively, it can be really helpful, right? And sometimes that's really hard when we're in pain or we're in financial distress. So let's pull a few cards for Surbi. Alrighty. Surbi. Oh no, that's too many. These are all beautiful cards, Surbi. Lots of, like, the 4 cards that fell out are super strong. I'm just going to let those sit there, and I'm just going to pull one card because there's a reason those four cards wanted to fall out. It's like you're building a new foundation is what these four cards are about, and about remaining optimistic and strong. And that strength, that internal strength, is really, really important. Your nervous system needs rehabilitation, I'm guessing. So your nervous system is probably number one on the list. So I'm just going to show you why I'm saying that, okay? And this is a really cool way when you're doing tarot readings. I'm just going to pick one card just because I want to weave this together. It looks really good, Serby, by the way, everything. So when I look at these cards and you look at the roots of the tree, you look at the three lines that are joining those pentacles, you look at the energy of the radiating sun, you look at the energy of the radiating sun here. I see that as the nervous system. And sometimes I can read these cards, you know, like basic, this means this, this means this, this means this. But these four cards just fell out of the deck and they want to be seen. And that's what I want you to focus on, is your nervous system and to calming your nervous system. This message has come up so many times today. This is about repairing your adrenal fatigue, paying attention to your adrenal fatigue, making sure that you are hydrated, that you are cared for, that the whole area of the low back, the kidneys and the adrenals is well and healthy. And to look after yourself in that way, emotionally, mentally, physically, through the food choices that you're making, and allow yourself to be cared for. You asked about a career reading. And so how does this all fit in, and how does this play in a career reading? The card that I chose for you is the Two of Cups. And so while you are doing all of this self-care and working with your team of people who are helping you through this challenging time, be thinking about maybe an old friend, an old somebody you trust and love deeply, who could help you with your career and help you with your business. When the Two of Cups comes up in a career question, it's about that lifelong partnership, that soulful partnership. It's like being so comfortable with working with that person, you don't even really have to say anything. You just know what that other person is going to do. You know what they want to be done, and you work together so very, very well. So as you reflect upon your career choices, be thinking about the relationships that you are building. And this might not be that old of a relationship, but it's one of those relationships that feels so deeply connected. Like you really understand that person, and you feel intuitively that working with that person just makes perfect sense. So kind of not exactly what you asked, but I hope that message, I hope that you can receive that message with love and, you know, with an awareness for your self-care and a great deal of compassion at this time. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here today. I'm just going to quickly scroll down to the end of the chat. And Marg is here. Hello, Marg. I haven't said hello to you. Yeah, and when I'm done here, probably not today, maybe later tonight or tomorrow, I'll read through the chat, and I'll just check in with when you said what you said, then see what I missed. Please feel free to write a comment in the description box below. And also my advice too is, if you're watching the playback and the comments aren't showing in the playback, it means the video hasn't processed. And sometimes the video isn't, it does a lot of buffering until it's completely processed. So always better to wait at least, I don't know, 12, 16 hours before you watch the playback. Yeah. And don't forget to give it a thumbs up. And you can check in with me on Thursday. I'll be back live on Thursday. We're going to be talking about tarot decks. And I have a couple of topics in mind. I'm not sure which way I'm going to go, but that'll be at 6 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time on Thursday. So thank you all very much for being here. Namaste and stay well.